So there you go. We finished Spider-Man 2. And yeah, you know, it was good. It's fun. It's a fun video game. If you're really pumped to play it and you didn't watch this stream just now and see all the spoilers, hey, maybe if Classy Vigilante's doing this little bit as an upload with like gameplay footage over top here, I'll lower that music just in case that does happen. I think I could recommend this game pretty easily to anyone who likes superhero stories and wants like a popcorn Spider-Man movie experience and a good sort of Arkham style beat 'em up, or if they want a big city to explore with a whole bunch of side missions and stuff and things to do with Spider-Man. Because hey, some of that stuff might be a lot of fun. Like, I didn't really engage too much with it in this playthrough, so I don't have really much of an opinion on it. I mostly focused on, or entirely focused on, getting through the main story and seeing the narrative, you know, finding out the mystery of who's Venom, how does he get the black suit, how does the black suit leave Peter and attach to whoever the host of Venom ends up being, how does Kraven factor into all this, how does the Lizard factor into all this, why is the Lizard turning into Godzilla? Good year. Cute puppy. Anyways, the combat's fun. It gets a little samey, but they do mix it up by giving you pretty powerful abilities and giving you access to new ones frequently. So that did mix it up a lot. Again, like after a certain amount of time, as much as one of my initial complaints was that like black suit Spider-Man fights like Carnage and it's weird. It's still weird. But I guess as an equalizer to Miles's Venom powers, like his abilities are so crazy that unless you turn Spider-Man into the Iron Spider, it's like it'd be hard to have Peter keep pace. And he is kind of the Iron Spider too. Like he has Iron Spider arms that come out of nowhere, and you know, you do some of the kind of Venom-like attacks like that. Because yeah, if you're going to be switching between characters and you want them to have a bit of parity, Peter seems to do a little bit more damage and moves slightly slower. He's still really fast, but slightly slower than Miles. Miles does a little less damage, it seems, and is faster. So that's not a bad trade-off. I think that's fine. It's good to have them feel slightly different, and they do, but they feel close enough that you feel like you're playing the same game when you're playing them. You know, like you don't feel like you're having to learn entirely new mechanics. With Mary Jane's missions, you do sort of have to learn entirely new mechanics, but hey, by the end of it, that last Mary Jane mission was pretty good. Not incredible, didn't blow me away, but it was a solid little third-person shooter sequence, which I guess, spoiler alert for the end of the game, you eventually get a gun as Mary Jane. Janie's got a gun. Yeah, you know, Aerosmith. Right on. Anyways, but yeah, so it basically played like kind of a cross between The Last of Us with a third-person control responsiveness that almost felt a little bit more closer to Returnal, which I liked because I mean, maybe I'd cranked up the sensitivity by that point, so maybe that could be one of the reasons. But yeah, I think the third-person shooting is a little bit better than it is in The Last of Us. It's not a whole lot different from that, but it is, I'd say, a little snappier. And the story, not terrible. Like there's some cool stuff in it, I'd say for sure. I do think it was maybe injured a bit by having as many characters in it as it did. You know, I felt like in the original Spider-Man and in Miles Morales, I got more of the Spider-Man character, like the respective Spider-Man character in each one. So yeah, I think the original Spider-Man, Insomniac Spider-Man, had more of a more character for Peter than this game did, and the Miles Morales game had more character for Miles than this game did. Though I think both of them get some pretty good stuff in this game. Like I really like the stuff with Miles and Martin Lee. I think that bringing him back was a good idea, especially because it makes having, yeah, I think now if you go back and play the original game, Martin Lee will seem less like a less oddball character to have as one of the main antagonists of the game. Like he's not like a big Spider-Man villain, but they gave him more relevance in this one, and relevance to Miles in particular, which, you know, it's pretty cool. Like him having a story arc that is connected to one of the characters, I think is good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it enough that I'll buy it on Steam. I didn't enjoy it enough that I'm like, man, I'm keeping the PS5 version and I'm going to platinum it right now, and then I'm going to buy it on Steam and get all the Steam achievements, and then I'm going to play it 6 more times every year. No, like it's not, I don't love this game, but I liked it. I thought it was fun. I think that if you like Spider-Man and you want to play a fun Spider-Man video game, this is one of the better Spider-Man video games, but I think the writing will be hit or miss for you. I think a lot of people are going to love it, but I feel there's a lot of stuff in there that people are not going to be super crazy about. And, you know, nothing made me furious or anything, but it was just like some stuff was like, okay, that's stupid. And, you know, that fair enough. Like, a lot of stories have things like that. So I don't regret taking the time it took to play this game. I think maybe we'll play the last act of Spider-Man Remastered, because I'm pretty sure that's where I was in it on Steam. And yeah, maybe we'll spend the day still kind of fiddling around with Spider-Man stuff, because we have the sequels context here. I think that might be a fun thing to do, and it'll give me a good chance to test the new Scuff PC controller, because I wanna develop some thoughts on this and maybe do a hardware review, because you know, not a lot of controllers get developed specifically for PC. There's choices about this that I like and choices that I dislike, and similar to the ones Insomniac made for Spider-Man 2. I like a lot of the stuff they did. I dislike a lot of the stuff they did. My feelings on it are mixed, and I think I couldn't give a 10 rating on it that would make anyone happy, because if I was giving it an honest number, it would seem shockingly low. But I don't really mean it in a way that like you shouldn't play the game. Because it would probably be like a 7. I mean, okay, so yeah, it's pretty good, maybe 6. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know that I'd go lower than 6. An above average game. It's definitely a lot of fun to play, an above average amount of fun. So yeah, minimum 6. But I think I would argue against a 9. I'd be like, 9, eh? What are your other 9s? Your boos mean nothing. I know what makes you cheer. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I liked it, and I think that I will enjoy playing it again. And as I'm up for playing Spider-Man Remastered right this second, because I want to fiddle around with my new PC controller. So yeah, I'm up for the double dip, but I'm happy I bought a physical copy and that I can sell it and get a good chunk of the $100 Canadian I had to spend on this game, plus gas to Walmart. Because that's the thing with physical games, man. They also cost the travel cost to get to where you bought it. But yeah, anyways, everybody, Spider-Man 2, it's good. Yeah, I think you'll like it. But if you want to wait on it and wait for a sale, you're not missing much. Like, you know, you're missing exactly what you think you would be missing. It's a Spider-Man game. It's a good one. It's a good Spider-Man game. You don't have to play it right now, though. Like, you can wait. I don't think it's that great. I think it's just fun. It's the Hogwarts Legacy of Spider-Man for this year. It's just a pretty solid thing for fans of the thing. And it's over, and it's like, okay, well, you know, if I'm a big Spider-Man fan, I could spend hours in this, just swinging around the city, doing all the side missions, getting the Platinum Trophy, stretching it out to 30 hours or whatever it is. Because I don't know how many hours I spent on this. Roughly 18 hours, I'd say. I don't know. Maybe Classic Vigilante, if you want to tally up the length of the Spider-Man streams and show on screen how wrong I am, or how this side, or how correct I am. This is the actual number. This was 18. This was my guess. We could subtract over on here, and then the difference I was wrong by will be below it. See, at least this boss arena is letting me, like, move around, you know? Like, I mean, it's all taking place on a tower, so it makes more sense why I would want to be in a confined space, because I have nowhere else to sling to. And I'm okay with that, you know? Like, limit me like that. Limit me in a way that makes sense. I think the boss arenas in the second game are not awesome.
It's still viable. We'll need the entire sample as a base to produce more doses.
How long will that take?
A few hours. Maybe a day.
What if we use it to cure someone right now?
Then there won't be enough to cure the others.
Take off your mask. I want to see my nephew.
You knew?
I've known for a while.
I never wanted you to worry.
I did. And I am so proud of you. And Ben, what do you do? All the people you've saved.
I don't know what to do.
Yes, you do.
And that's why I think the first one is a better game, narratively, by a lot. But yeah, so that's Marvel's Spider-Man 1, and yeah, that ending still gets me, man. There was a reason I was off cam, because I didn't want to have a Kevin Smith clip going around. It's not my fault though, because I mean I have puppies. It's really easy to feel emotion when you have puppies. I've also seen a lot of sick people die, you know? It gets tough. At the same time, that's probably the best with great power comes great responsibility moment that I've seen in a video game, for sure. Because the power he's holding is just the anti-serum. That's the power. It's nothing to do with it. He could be any guy. And the choice is the power. It's you can save the person you love, or you can save everybody else. And she's like, you know what to do, you know? It's nice. JoJo loved it. She was moved. But yeah, I don't think the second game's as good. I liked it a lot. I like playing it a lot. I guess that's probably the way to put it. I like playing the second game a lot because it's a lot of fun. It's a very fun video game. And again, I'll play it again. Like when it comes out on Steam. Just I mean, do you see how beautiful that port looked? Like that was the PS4 game, and it looks pretty nice running it on a modern PC when you can max it out. You know, like it holds up. It's not even just as like an impressive visual experience. It's like, yeah, this still looks impressive even now. It's not like going back to see a PS2 game and be like, yeah, Metal Gear Solid 3, you know, you got to use your imagination now, but it looked amazing for the time. This is like, no, this still looks pretty good for now. You know, like it, I think that like Nixies did a great port with this one. And I can't wait to see what they do with Spider-Man 2. I guess like the main point, and one of the main reasons I wanted to play this today, like right after I finished playing Spider-Man 2 on PS5, is because I wanted to be able to make a solid recommendation to PC players specifically. So if you're a PS5 guy and you really want to play Spider-Man, play it. It's a lot of fun. Even if you hate the story, you might end up really having a good time playing it. So, and I mean, you notice actually, Andrew, actually everybody, if you go back and watch my VODs, I did not fast travel a single time. Not once. Not one time did I fast travel in this game. And I think that was part of the reason I wanted to stay focused on the main story, because I knew that if I started doing a bunch of side quests and trying to clear sections of the map, this would turn into a much longer playthrough. I would probably get more value out of the game and feel less desire to sell the physical copy that I just played, which I am very likely going to do. But, you know, I wanted to be able to say to PC gamers, hey, yeah, you can wait. You can wait on this, even if you have a PS5. Don't buy a PS5 to play this game, is what I'm saying.
It's pretty weird, right? Not that weird.
See, now, even now, like for their own Spider-Man universe, like for an Elseworld story where Peter Parker is only Spider-Man for a few years before he meets Miles Morales, who gets the spider powers, he's like, hey, we have the same powers, and he has a sidekick. You know, I like that. I do. I think it could be really fun, which is actually why I think it would have been really awesome if they let you do multiplayer in this game. Like they let you do 2-player multiplayer where you could just do side content and not progress each other's stories. It's just one person's Peter, one person's Miles, and you go around the open world and, you know, stop crimes together and stuff. That would be tons of fun. They really should implement that if they're not planning on it. Especially because, I mean, Ghost of Tsushima's multiplayer was really good. It wasn't campaign based either. It was just basically challenges, but I think that would work quite well. But the only thing that's weird about it in the case of this universe is now you have two people who everyone refers to as Spider-Man, and it gets confusing. Now, I even think that I almost thought that at the end of Spider-Man 2, I guess here, another little small spoiler section for Spider-Man 2 in 3, 2, 1, when Peter becomes anti-Venom and like gets the sort of integrated symbiote suit that he can control. Like that, I thought they might have just switched his name to Anti-Venom and called Miles Spider-Man. Like, or just been like, yeah, you're now Spider-Man and Peter is Anti-Venom. I'd be like, well, I mean, you know, it's gonna piss people off, but I mean, it's fine, you know, like it's their story and they can do that if they like, you know. And I think that the way I think what they're probably going to do is make a Spider-Man Miles Morales 2, like another Miles spin-off, where Peter is going to be working on Peter is going to be working on the thing that he's working on at the end of that game, and Miles is going to be able to go do his own story. That's, I don't know if it's a direct follow-up to Miles Morales, probably not, but maybe something to do with Raxon, which is the company that he fights in the Miles Morales spin-off game. And they could do another one of those and have him just be Spider-Man. But I think that the problem with the way they sideline Peter, it kind of creates the same problem of Captain America at the end of Endgame. Because what they're saying is that Peter's here, he still has his powers, he's in the prime of his life, like he's peak Spider-Man right now, and he's just gonna take a few years off and focus on charity work. Now, you know, that's a lovely thing to do, to dedicate your life to charity work, but with great power comes great responsibility, right? Like, you can't abandon your posts, man. Like, it means that anything they throw at Miles in this spin-off, like at least in the other one, it was like Peter's away. He's like in another country. That's how they handled it. But here it's, I mean, I guess it could be a reason why he's in another country. I guess that's fair. Like, it's like, okay, I'm doing a charity work thing and I have to be in Europe or Japan or something like that for 6 months. So then the Miles Morales 2 game takes place, and that's probably what they'll do. So fair enough. But it kind of seemed like they were saying, hey, you go be Spider-Man. I'm not going to do Spider-Man stuff. And he'd be like, if I were Miles, I'd be like, well, I mean, you know, I could do the heavy lifting, but I mean, we could stop a lot more crime if we both do it. Like, 'cause I can't get it all, right? Like New York's not going to be crime free. I can't stop every single crime, so maybe this is how you do the most good in the world, Peter. Like, I can't help but see that side of it. Now, granted, we'll see where they go with it, what they do with it, but I think this one is a lot tighter. The original Spider-Man, Insomniac Spider-Man 1, Marvel's Spider-Man 1, I think is what they call it. I think this one is a better game. Granted, I didn't just play all of it, but I played the tail end of it just now, and including a Mary Jane mission. Granted, it was the one where you actually can defend yourself, but yeah, I think Spider-Man 1 better than Spider-Man 2. I hope I don't upset too many people with that opinion, but I mean, I'm telling you the truth. Because I would be telling you this one's way better if it were. This one. I mean, this one is the first one. I would be telling you the second one is way better if I genuinely thought that was the case. I think this one is a much stronger story, but evidenced by the fact that, like, I didn't get choked up a single time during Spider-Man 2. I knew what was gonna happen with Aunt May. And I like actually still teared up. And I was like, oh man, it's rough. And again, like, I mean, I've worked in medicine, and I've seen people die of illness, and it's sad when they can't be saved. So, like, you know, I've seen family members that are in that are not my family members exactly, but I've seen people's family members reacting to their passing loved ones, and it's really sad, you know, so it gets me. Like, there's that too, so there's a personal experience element as well. I guess that should be stated, but I don't know, man, that him holding that vial and knowing that he can do the selfish thing and save a person he loves. So do the selfish thing and do a really, really good thing, or he can do the selfless thing and save everybody else. But the important thing is that she was right there saying, like, yeah, you know what to do. You know what to do. You know what Ben would do. You don't need me to tell you. I know you're going to make the right choice. And she was right, because he's Spider-Man, right? Like, I mean, it's great. It's really good. I don't think all of the writing in the entire Insomniac series is as strong as that. But even hearing it now, again, I'm a nearly 40-year-old man, and it made me well up with tears when I saw it for probably the third time. So, yeah, you know, well done. I hope they bring it home with a stronger script than the third one, though, because it's implied that the third one will be the final one in the trilogy. It is likely going to, spoilers possible for Spider-Man 2 and 3 in 3, 2, 1, a Green Goblin story, which, you know, they haven't done Green Goblin in this series yet. Green Goblin is kind of the arch nemesis. Him being the last one in the trilogy, it's not been something they've tried in the movies, really. They kind of managed to do it with No Way Home, I suppose, in a bit of a strange way, like a way that they couldn't do that again. So it's not going to be the same, you know. And the multiverse aspect makes the No Way Home one kind of, I don't know. It's like it almost doesn't count. It does, but it don't. You know what I mean. It's not. It doesn't feel as earned as if Norman Osborn was a character in Tom Holland's Spider-Man's life the entire time. Whereas this is that. You know, like we've had Norman Osborn not be Green Goblin in 2 games now, and we don't know that he is in the third one. But it's a heavy implication that that's kind of where they're going with it. And, you know, I don't think they've destroyed the characters or anything like that. I'm still interested to see what happens. I just think a lot of the writing was much more awkward in 2 than it was in the first one. But, hey, if you like Spider-Man, play them both. You know, you're going to like them, most likely. Well, yeah, but the thing is about it's green and implying that the Green Goblin is a thing that's going to be happening at some point is, you know, they're setting the groundwork, right? Like, you could argue that it's member-berry stuff in a meta that's making us think that, and sure, yeah, it is. And technically, they don't have to. I mean, they made Harry Osborn not Green Goblin 2. They made him Venom in this. So, I mean, they're not necessarily being like, hey, remember Eddie Brock? Like, we introduced Eddie Brock. It's like, no, they didn't even use Eddie Brock. They made it Harry, who's now not likely to be Green Goblin unless he also becomes Green Goblin 2 in a universe where he was Venom. Which, you know, I mean, I wouldn't do that if I were them, but I guess we'll see how they do. At the same time, I think that having Norman Osborn be the final protagonist of the white spidered Spider-Man, like the PlayStation Spider-Man, Insomniac Spider-Man's trilogy, you know, I'm up for it.